we are going to direct our attention to structures and functions. Every organism has structures which carry out specific function or functions in the body. Every structure also has its own feature or features to enable it to function properly. Therefore, biologists are interested in structures in the body and their functions. This time around, we are going to look at some examples of questions that are based on structures and functions. Example 1 of structures and functions. Which of these features is not a characteristic of respiratory surface or respiratory organs? A. Having light surface area. B. Having moist surfaces. C. Being well vascularized. D. Being thick and elastic. Now, respiratory surfaces or organs are in different organisms. In man, frog, birds will have lungs. There are other organisms that use gills. Plants use stomatas on their leaves or lettuces on the stem. Then the insects may use spiracles and so on. Those are respiratory surfaces. What is common to them? The organs or the structures branches off to provide light surface area, and they are always wet. They should not be dry, and well supplied with blood vessels, carry blood around to be able to carry oxygen and release oxygen from carbon dioxide from the body. And of course, it should be well ventilated and allow air to pass through this the thin wall. It's always thin wall as well. So this question is based on these characteristics of respiratory structures. Now, let's look at our option. Option A, having light surface area. That is one of the characteristics. B, having moist surfaces. One of the characteristics. C, being well vascularized, well supplied with blood. That is one of the characteristics. Then the third one, being thick and elastic. That is an idea of the blood vessels, artery, having thick wall and elastic wall. So the answer to this question, the one that is not, the feature that is not, or characteristic that is not of respiratory surface, is provided by option D, which is being thick and elastic. Example 2. Respiratory surfaces are in contact with atmosphere, which is one of the characteristics known as A. Vascularization, B. Breathing, C. Ventilation, C. Canter shading. Now, vascularization has been explained as supply of blood vessels around the respiratory surface. Breathing is a mechanism. It's not the characteristics of a respiratory surface. Then canter shading is different coloration of different parts to blend with the environment. The one that answered the question is ventilation. Being in contact with the atmosphere means well aerated, air will be available. That is the meaning of being ventilated. Answer to question 2 is C, being having ventilation. Example 3. The breathing roots of white mangrove plants exhibit negative geotropism so as to A. Expose pneumatophores to the atmosphere, B. Remain green, C. Absorb mineral nutrients, and D. Anchor the plant firmly to the soil. Now, breathing roots in white mangrove plants grow out of the soil to the air. It grows out of the soil to the air. That is why we say is exhibiting, they exhibit negative eutrophism. All roots grow towards the force of gravity, that is into the earth. But this root is growing against this force, so it is negative eutrophism. Why is the root growing out into the air instead of growing into the soil? Is it because of A, option A, it wants to expose pneumatophores to the atmosphere? Is it because it wants to remain green? Of course. Should a root be green? Answer is no. So answer the option B is out of question already. The absorb mineral nutrient. Is a root supposed to absorb mineral nutrient from the atmosphere or from the soil? So we know that the root is not looking for mineral nutrient from the atmosphere. Option C is also out of it. Then D, to anchor the plant firmly to the soil. If it's to anchor the plant to the soil, it's not supposed to grow out of the soil. Therefore, we now have option A as the plausible reason why the root is growing into the air, to expose pneumatophores to the atmosphere. And what is pneumatophore? The pneumatophores are like stomata, pores on the body of the root. So our answer to number 3 is option A, expose pneumatophores to the atmosphere. Example 4. The thickest wall is found in which part of mammalian heart? A, right auricle. B, left auricle. C, right ventricle. D, left ventricle. A careful look at the diagram of mammalian heart. One could see that the auricles are not very thick in their wall, but the ventricles are thick walled because they are pumping blood out of the heart. Now, the right ventricle pumps blood to the lungs, while the left ventricle pumps blood to all parts of the body. Obviously, the left ventricle have a thicker wall than the right ventricle. So when looking at the diagram of the heart, you will discover the thickest wall is found in left ventricle. So answer to question 4 is option D, left ventricle. Example 5. The cells of the heart are kept alive through nutrient supply by A, corollary circulation, B, pulmonary circulation, C, systemic circulation, and D, hepatic portovein circulation. Now, starting from D, hepatic portovein transports blood from the small intestine to the liver, where it conveys digested food from the intestine to the liver. It is also known to be the only circulation in the body that commences in capillaries and ends in capillaries. Now, option C, systemic circulation. This is the circulation that goes around the whole body. Then option B, pulmonary circulation. This circulation between the heart and the lungs. Now, A, coronary circulation. This is supplying of blood into the heart tissues, circulating the blood around and breaking back again from the tissues back to the heart. So coronary circulation supply the muscle cells and tissue with blood. So the answer to our question the cells of the heart are kept alive because of the supply of the material brought in by coronary circulation? Our answer is option A.